So here's what we're talking about. Like, why do this? And a big part of today's lesson one, is about enrolling yourself. See, I'm not just talking about this for the fun of it, although it actually is fun. But if you want to be successful in something, you've got to enroll yourself. You don't just wake up one morning and commit fully to a coaching practice and have your actions all aligned. You've got to enroll yourself. You've got to create the possibility. You've got to believe that it can happen. And one of the ways we do that is to look at all the benefits. So my aim during this webinar, during this lesson one of the CoachMBA program, is to enroll you in the possibility that you can actually have this. So what can you have? You can have a six-figure income. Some people might go for 7. That's never been my aim. But you can have a six-figure income. You can be changing lives. I coached a woman who just never felt loved by her mother. Never felt loved. Had some deep, deep, dark stuff in the past. I coached her for 30 minutes. She went and had a phone call with her mother, listened to her differently, and she called me back and she said, "Oh my God, that's the first time I felt loved in my life. And I listened to her the way you told me to, and I said what you told me to say, and it was just incredible. My mother opened up and there were tears. And it's such a privilege. So you can change lives. You have a six-figure income. You can be your own boss. Who on this call, Maury says he's already coaching. So Maury, you must know about this. Who on this call would like to be their own boss, set their own hours, and work from anywhere in the world whenever they want? I'd like to hear. Just go and type it in there if that's you. I'm going to tell you in a moment. I'm going to give you like the maybe 2-minute version of my entire career, because I want you to know that you can do this starting from scratch, because I didn't have anything when I started. So you can have an additional income stream. Some people don't want to be full-time coaches. You might want to just add this to your career, to your services. If you're already doing something else, you might have a nice job. And people say, well, I couldn't become a coach. I couldn't start a new business. I've got a great job. Rubbish. You might have Monday night and Tuesday nights are your coaching nights, where you end up coaching 5 clients and maybe you bring in $3,000 a month from that. Or you're a masseuse, or you're a chiropractor. You're doing something related and you just want to add coaching as an extra service. So I think coaching is the holy grail. I think it's amazing we get to do it. I think it's amazing we get paid. And here's the other thing. People will pay you for the value you provide. All you got to do is find out what they want and help them get it. And there are people who have the money to actually pay for that. Now, I started from nothing. This is important because people might think, oh, well, David, you built a 6-figure practice coaching in 5 different countries over the phone, working 2.5 days a week. And that's important because I wasn't slaving. I wasn't like working 6-7 days a week on the phone to make 6 figures. I was coaching 2.5 days a week. The rest of it, I was free to go and hang out with my family or build my business in other areas. Because I was so passionate, I couldn't stop. Now, like, build the newsletter. Oh, let me go write a book. Let me go craft a speech. I love it. Now, you might say, David, you built a 6-figure practice, but maybe you already had a client base. No. Or maybe you had a coaching degree. No. Or maybe you had a related profession. No. I didn't have that either. But what I did is I researched what other people were doing. And I did go and I went and enrolled in a training program. And I did go and get myself one of the best mentor coaches available and invested in that. And so what I was privileged to be able to do is not only have a 6-figure practice, but I now had a newsletter with over 80,000 people on it. That's an asset. That's amazing. I spoke to audiences, and I didn't start at over 1,000 people, but I went to my first speech. I think there were 30 people there, and I was like, oh my God, this is freaking me out. Now I've spoken to an audience of over 1,000 people, and at the end of my speeches, people had paid over $100,000 to buy my training. One of the speeches, almost $400,000. It was insane. Now I'm saying this because I want you guys to know that if you just want 5 clients earning an extra $3,000 a month, then that's great. But I want you to also see the whole spectrum of what you can have, because that's just the beginning. I was privileged to lecture at Columbia University. That was such a rush for me. And now I can say I'm a guest lecturer at Columbia University. I was on CNN headline news. I coached on a national TV show in Australia as the on-screen life coach for 6 single women looking for love. I tell you, that was crazy. I published a book called Get Paid for Who You Are. Some of you may have heard of it and read it. And it's fortunate that Jack Canfield was kind enough to endorse it. Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, here's another thing that I want for you guys, and this is why we're going into your structure for success on this webinar, and why I'm enrolling you in setting up a structure for success, is because you can have all of this. I absolutely believe you can do it. I've done it, and I'm seeing the results my students are creating. I got to raise $60,000 for the Rainforest Foundation, founded by Sting. It's just amazing. It's like, who would have thought I'd be doing that? Published a book, and as part of it, raised $60,000. And I love that I can coach from Hot Springs in California, from my motorbike. Just recently, I pulled over my motorbike in a field and did a coaching session right there while I was on vacation. And I've coached from a phone booth in Thailand and from cafes in Bali. Actually, I don't know if I coached from a cafe in Bali, but definitely worked on my business from there. So this is what I did, and I want to help create some possibility. Now, I'd like to see if you're willing to type into the chat room or the question area what most appeals to you about the picture I'm creating. What is it that you most want? What is it that you're declaring that you're going for, that you're actually going to have in your life? Because that's where it happens. I can give people strategies and strategies and strategies, but you know what? They don't apply them. Why don't they apply them? Because they're not enrolled. They're not enrolled. They haven't enrolled themselves in the possibility. They haven't made a commitment. They haven't made the declaration. So I'm enrolling you today in making that commitment for yourself, that you are going to take the actions, that you are going to get whatever training you want, whether it's with me or with somebody else, whatever's going to serve you, and that you are going to generate coaching clients that pay you for the difference you're making. That's the question for you. That's the only question for you to really answer on this call, is are you going to commit and declare? Are you going to take action for it? So we're going to project income now, and I want to make an earnings disclaimer to be responsible and also just practical. I can't say what you're going to earn. I don't promise you an earnings result. I don't know what I'm going to earn. What I'm going to show you is some mathematics right now, and I'm going to help you project what you think you could earn. I'll talk about some numbers that I've generated and some numbers that my students have generated perhaps. These are indications of what's possible, what I've found in my personal experience and their experience to be possible. You get to create what's possible for you. So let's do it now. And this is a very interactive portion. So I want you guys, I'm going to tell you what numbers I want you to type into the question box. I want you to maybe start on paper first, and then you can just put the 3 numbers all at once in the question box, or you can just start in the question box. What's your total revenue you want over the next 12 months from coaching? I know some people just want 10 grand. And if you're starting, that sounds like a reasonable place to start, right? Just give me 10 grand in the first year as my beginning. If you're already coaching, you're already consulting, you might say, I'm going for it. I want 6 figures. I've had people put in $250,000 on here. So write down, don't hit enter yet, because I want to see all your numbers together. Write down the total revenue that you want for the year. Here's the second number. What's the average monthly fee that you'd like to charge? Now, if you're starting off, and we're talking monthly fees when we're talking coaching, you don't charge per session. You always want people signed up for a minimum of a month. You talk about the coaching relationship. So what's the monthly fee you're going to charge? If you're just beginning, I think $300 is a nice place to start. And you can still discount from there, but start at $300 a month. And if you do 4 sessions a month, that works out at under $100 a session, so it's not exorbitant or anything. So, maybe that's where you want to start. If you've got some existing skill or a lot of confidence, or you're just willing to give them a money-back guarantee, you might want to pump it up. You might be going for business clients or executive clients and charging $2,000 a month. You might want to charge Frank Kern's charging $10,000 a month because he does internet consulting. That's his expertise. So he knows if he takes someone earning 6-7 figures already, he doesn't have to do much to increase their income more than 10 grand. It's so easy. So depending on your target market, put in an average monthly fee. Now here's the third one. The number of clients that you need. That's what you want to work out. How many clients do I need each month to do that? And here's how you do it. You just take your total revenue You divide it by 12 and then divide it by your average monthly fee. That's it. So type those three numbers in right now. Type them into the box. What's your total revenue that you'd love to have over 12 months? What's the average fee you'd charge your client? Could be between $300 a month and 10 grand a month. And then divide the total revenue by 12 to get your monthly revenue, and divide that by the average monthly fee. Now, while you're typing that into the box, and I'll ask you all to do it, and I can tell if you don't. Here's an example. If you want $250,000, if you're going for it, let's suppose you've already got a client base and existing skills, divide that by 12. Suppose you're charging $3,000 a month. I've got a client paying that right now. Then you need how many clients? 7. That's it. Now you start considering how many people would you have to approach. You start going after people who are already wealthy, already got some good success in the business. They'd like to go further. How many would you have to approach before you got 7 to say yes? And how long would it take you to do that? 2 weeks, 2 months, 12 months? I say if it takes you 12 months to get 7 clients, what do you care? You're now earning $250,000 a year. Here's another example while you're typing that in, those 3 numbers. Let's suppose you're going for 6 figures. You want to get to my initial practice number. My initial practice number was like, wow, I'm earning 120 grand and charging around $400 a month. So 120,000 divided by 12 is 10,000. Divided by 400 a month, I need 25 clients. So this is a great example because it just shows you want to work out, well, how many people do I have to get to say yes? And at one stage, I had about 23 clients. I think it was the most I had, and I could fit those into 2.5 days. So let's see your numbers. Now, why are we doing this? This is part of lesson 1. You have to enroll yourself in the possibility. You have to choose to believe. You want to put up all the bright, shiny things like revenue, client impact, freedom. You have to soak yourself in that so that when you get up in the morning, you're ready to take action. Now, here's something else. This is super critical. I'm not just training you right now on how to enroll yourself in success. I'm training you right now in how to enroll your clients to stick. I'll say that again. I'm not just training you right now in how to enroll yourself in possibility and in committing to take action. I'm training you in how to enroll your clients in committing to their 3 months of coaching with you, their 6 months of coaching, having them declare. And the training I'm going to go through with you, everything that might derail you, you're going to be able to take this, map that right onto your clients, use it with them. Because you don't want clients to just show up and then they don't show up for their first session or they want a refund after 2 weeks. You want them committed. So this is actually a lesson on commitment. So Pavle says $50,000. Devin says $100,000. And I won't read out all the answers. I'll just read out some. I'm hearing $100,000, $500 a month. That's 17 clients. Isn't it great when you get a number like I need 17 people? That's what I need to make 100 grand. $100,000 a year, $297 a month. Okay, fair enough. 28 clients. Jerry says $75,000, $500 a month. That's 12.5 clients. We've got someone else has posted 60,000 as their target. And I think you might have said $500 a month, so you need 16 clients. I think that's the math you've got here. Jim Miller says $125,000. I'd like to be charging $300 a month. Nice, just starting out. That's 34 clients. I tell you, Jim, you'll be busy. It's totally possible, but here's what you do. Once you've got 10 clients at $300, you put your fees up to $500. It'll barely slow you down because now you've got the confidence. So you're not going to need 34. Absolutely no reason to have 34 clients at $300. You can do it, but I'm just saying you don't need to do that. All right, cool. And then someone's posted that they'd like some practice clients. Like, just getting started. Let's get some practice clients. Maybe charge them a discounted rate. Awesome. So now, guys, are you committed to your coaching practice? Someone says, I'm committed to being a profit center for my family. Someone else says, I'm not committed to financial independence. Now, are you committed? And I invite you to type it in right now. And just don't give me the answer you think I want to hear. Just declare it right now. Are you committed to achieving that income goal that you just set? And are you willing to do what it takes to make it happen? And when you fall down and you skin your knee, are you willing to get up, get coaching, and find out what's next? You don't have to. No one does. I'm just talking about what paves the way for success because I know that that's what you want. So we talked about enrolling yourself in the opportunity. You also get to choose to believe or not. I tell you what, I don't pretend not to have doubt. My mind's always saying things like, oh, people aren't going to get value from that, or that's too expensive, and this and that, yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on. You get to choose to believe or not right now. And I thought that was a lot of crap. You can't choose to believe. Either it's likely or it's not. No, I realize I've got the negative thinking. I can choose to believe that negative thinking, or I can choose to believe, no, hang on, that is possible that I can have that 60,000, 100,000, 200,000. Other people are doing it. All I need is the roadmap, the right training, the right mentorship, whatever it is you need to put in place. And of course I can have it. I may not get everything right, but I'll keep on going until I do. So step 3 in enrolling yourself. 1 is the opportunity. And do this with your clients. What's the opportunity? What are you going to create? Okay, awesome. 2 is, are you willing to believe that you can have it? 3, what's the cost of not having that? So I'll ask you now to type into the chat room, what's the cost of you not pursuing your dreams? Of you not pursuing and building a coaching business when you know deep down that's your natural self-expression? That you want to impact people, you want the revenue, that'll give you a great lifestyle, it's going to impact your family. You're going to impact the world with this, and you're not doing it. You're not making the phone calls. You're not doing the training. You're not doing the marketing that needs to happen. You're not finding out the steps if you don't know the steps. What's the cost of you? Type it in right now. What's the cost of not doing that? I know what the cost is for me, but I want to see what your answers are. So we've got one answer. The cost is that I keep doing things that I'm not happy doing. Yeah. You get to keep doing stuff you don't want to do. Can you imagine the cost of that over the next 10 years? It's incredible. Also, I keep doing things I don't do as well. You might be doing things right now that are not your gift. I'm going to pause and take a drink of water. In fact, I invite you all. If you got a cup of tea, a bourbon and Coke. Oh, boy, I could use one of those. I'm on 30 days giving up like 7 different addictions like TV and all that kind of thing, and alcohol went with a lot too. I'll have a glass of water while you enjoy your glass of wine. Regardless of what time zone you're in. So there's a powerful cost. Someone else has got here, it's costing me the lifestyle that I deserve. Yeah, lifestyle cost. Freedom cost. I'll tell you the cost to me. I was wishing I'd just held a live event in San Francisco. Some of you may have been there. 3-day event, my first. And I wanted more people. I had like 6 people registered. And the room holds 125. And I wanted 100 people minimum. And it hurt. I got up every day and complained and wished and wanted. And I did a few things, which of course didn't generate the results. And then I bitched about it, even just in my head. And I finally realized the enormous cost of not committing, not playing full out. I realized that I was sitting on the fence, and sitting on the fence is painful because now you got a fence up your butt. So it was costing me in energy. It was costing me in my relationships because my partner had to hear about this. So now I'm dampening her energy. And when I finally committed, when I realized that I was sitting on the fence, and I gave myself the ultimatum to give it up and cancel the event or play full out, oh my God, it was just so much more peaceful. I decided to play full out. I made like 10, 15, 20 phone calls to joint venture partners, people I didn't even know. And I said, hey, would you promote this? Would you promote this? Would you promote this? Let's do an interview. Hey, what can I do? I'll give you commission. I'll promote you. Let's, blah, 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 blah. And when I did my event, I had 100 people in the room. So enroll yourself in committing to your coaching because of the cost of not pursuing it and not giving yourself every chance to have it. Can you imagine 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, knowing, like sitting and knowing that you gave it all, regardless of your results? You got 5 clients, 10, 20, 30 clients. You got 10 grand, 50, 100 grand a year from coaching. You know you did everything. Don't you want that feeling? I want that for you. So again, my invitation for you on this call is choose. Are you going to dabble? Dabbling's cool. But it's not cool when you know this is what you want. It's not cool when this is what lights you up. It's not cool when this is your dream that you dabble. It's not kind to yourself. So my invitation to you today is to actually choose and declare that you're now standing in a place of commitment. And now let's talk about what that looks like to you. Let's look at structure. Now, this is such powerful coach training, and I suspect that a lot of coaches don't have this training. After this call, you'll have it, at least the basic form of it. If you say that you're committed to losing 15 pounds, you say you're committed, all right? I'm going to, you know what most people do? They just say, all right, I'm going to lose 15 pounds. They don't commit. They just say it, right? But suppose you work with your coach or on this call with me and you're like, no, I commit. Okay, now what are you going to do? What happens for most people is a week goes past, nothing's happened. Or you go to the gym, maybe do a session, do a trial, another 2 weeks goes past because you're busy. Or you sign up for the gym, maybe you do a couple of weeks, and then you got that work trip and you got this and that, falls by the wayside. Who can relate to this story? How many things have you started and not finished? And I say to you, perhaps 9 times out of 10, it's through lack of a structure. You have not put a structure in place to support that goal. So I'm going to ask you in a moment, what are some great structures to support you in your coaching commitment? And let's talk about some examples to take the analogy of the losing weight of some great structures for that. Well, I'll tell you one thing. First, you want to come up with a plan. You got to have a roadmap. That's a structure. See, if you just wake up and go, all right, what am I going to do about fitness? Or what am I going to do about my coaching practice, but you don't have a plan, nothing's likely to happen. So you need a roadmap. For fitness, it might be like, all right, I need to work out 3 times a week. Then I need to at the gym, and then I'm going to jog, and I'm going to work with a fitness trainer once a month to make sure I'm on track. And here's my health plan. I can't eat this. This is my list of what not to eat, and this is a list of what I can eat. Like, you need a roadmap. That's a structure. So type in here, what are some structures for your coaching practice? For a coaching practice, you need a roadmap from someone who's done it. Find someone you trust, find someone you respect, get their roadmap. Now for fitness, another thing you might do, I mentioned the fitness trainer. So when you hire somebody whose job it is to keep you on track, that's a huge structure. That's an action that demonstrates commitment. You want to look at what actions are going to demonstrate commitment. To who? Who's this demonstrate commitment to? To your family? To your friends? To the universe? Whatever your spiritual beliefs, to your God of your understanding, but also you want to take actions that demonstrate it to your subconscious. You take actions that say to you, I'm committed. You can't say you're committed and then just do nothing. You commit and then you take actions commensurate with that. So hiring a fitness trainer would be great. What about a vision board? Go and put the pictures of what you want to look like up on the wall. You know, I might do that. I'm 44 now, and I used to have a six pack, and now I kind of do, but I got to massively flex and be in the right position and the right lighting, and I'm thinking, you know, it'd be nice to be ripped. So that'd be a great structure for me, is to put a poster up of ripped abs. So just you're seeing it all the time. Another thing you can do is enroll a friend in doing it with you, whatever your goal is. I'm going to tell you later on this call how you can not only get all 12 lessons here and get access to the CoachMBA program, but what you have to do to get a companion ticket. Because I believe in structures. I'm all about it. You want to have someone doing it with you so that 3, 6, 12 months from now, you look back and go, I love all the new clients I have, rather than those other people without the structures going, well, that was a great webinar. It just didn't make a difference to my life because I didn't commit and I didn't put in place the structures. So let's see what you guys have come up with. I'll tell you another thing. You have got to enter stuff in your calendar. You have got to. You've got to put it in your diary and have reminders. If my computer screen doesn't flash up and my phone doesn't pop up sometimes 2 to 3 times, then I don't do anything. I won't do it. You've got to carve out the time. I have one client, she's like, all right, I'll do that. She didn't make the time to carve out the time. Oh my God. She's like, yeah, I'll put it. No, you got to like, all right, Mondays is my time for planning my schedule. In the CoachMBA program, you have a structure. It's a built-in structure. Can't avoid it. You click add to calendar, all your sessions for all your live calls go into your calendar, and you've got homework each week. That's a structure. That keeps you on track. I had a girlfriend once who bought a house. I said, why'd you buy a house? She said, because I wasn't saving. And if I'm paying off a house, then that's my forced savings. That's my structure to save. So you enroll in a program, whether it's mine or someone else's, then that's a structure for you. You got no excuse. There's no hiding. 3 months from now, you've done all the actions rather than just wishing. So let's see what you guys have got. Let's see what you've given me, what you're declaring that are some great structures for supporting you in your coaching practice. And I've given you a bunch of ideas. Oh, wow. You know, someone's just mentioned that the cost of not going for their dreams, for not going for the coaching practice, you got to add up the lifetime value of all the clients you could have had. Whoa, talk about monetary cost, right? We look at costs. If you look at like over the last 12 months, if you had fully committed to your coaching practice and had done all the stuff and gone and got all the support structures in place, imagine the value of those clients and add that up. What's the cost? 5 grand, 10 grand, 30 grand, 60 grand. It's expensive not to commit. You can't afford it. And of course, frustration. Yeah. So some structures. Someone here has said, have a clear vision. And if you haven't typed anything yet, I invite you to type and put something in because I believe that when we're interactive, we learn more. Also, if you participate, I say that's an action that demonstrates commitment to learn. It's an action that demonstrates to your subconscious, I am doing this. I am serious about it. I am active about it rather than just wishing. So one structure is to have a clear vision of where I want to go. Yes, which is why we worked on your targets today. Develop a business plan. Yes, that's a roadmap. And then to do it. Well, that's not a structure. So, I just need to do it. Just so you know, that's just not a structure. You want a structure that has you do it. A mentor is one of the structures that would help me. Absolutely. When I was building up my coaching business, I figured let's go to the best. I went to one of the top. I was in Australia at the time, went to one of the top coaches. I tell you what, I can't imagine I'd ever be speaking on stages if it wasn't for her. I said, how do I get clients? I said, well, one thing that's worked for me is speaking. I'm like, can you show me how to do it? She's like, yeah. When you think about it, it's crazy to try and do it without a mentor. Why would you? Why would you try and create something new and start from scratch? How arrogant. How arrogant or defeatist to just say, I'm just going to play with this in a sandbox for the next 5 years and see what happens. Do that if you don't care about the money or care about the success of your clients. But This is amazing when you think about it, to try and do something new without grabbing someone, or at least a coach, to keep you on track. Alrighty, so I hope now you guys have got some great structure. I'll tell you another one: community. Community. If you try and do something in isolation, it's very difficult. You've got to keep generating that power, generating that momentum, generating your enthusiasm and motivation. When it's a rainy day, are you going to go out jogging or go and get in the car and drive to the gym? One of the things that supported me is I'm playing squash. So I set up, I just joined a squash league. So I have to do certain games by the end of the month. There are certain competition matches. I've got someone else showing up. Doesn't matter how I feel. So when you have a community around you of people who are also committed to their coaching practice, then it's not about how do I get motivated. It's more about how do I get unmotivated, because everyone around you is doing it. The natural thing for you to do is to do what they're doing. That's very clever. Like, seriously, smart people, when they want something, they go and hang out with people who also want that thing, and together they create it. So how do you enroll? I'm going to wrap up this part of lesson 1 with how do you enroll a client in committing. So how do you enroll a client in committing? You use the exact training I've just given you. Everything I've given for you, any notes you've taken tonight, or this morning, or this evening, depending on where you are, use that with your clients. So go back through quickly. Have them consider, are they committed or are they not? Is this a committed or is this a wishing? Ask them where they slide. How do you slide when you started something? What does it look like? And what should I say or do to help you keep on track when that happens? What can I count on you for when it gets tough? So if you don't have a coach, you don't have a mentor, what's going to happen to you when it gets tough? If you don't have a structure and it gets tough, you quit. That's been my experience. Ask your client, are you excited by this opportunity? Are you enrolled in it? Do you believe it's possible? Will you choose to believe that you can have it? And what's the cost of not having this for you? And just offer them the choice to declare that they're actually going to create it. They're going to make it happen with your support. And then what you can help them do is you can help them create structures. Some of the structures we've talked about today, you can help them put that in their life. What you've got here today, what we've gone through, is going to make a massive difference to the results of your clients. I say massive difference, and a massive difference to your results if you apply it. And again, this is lesson 1. I want you to just start to imagine what would you be like as a coach at the end of 12 weeks, where you have a lesson like this every single week.